For $170 or close to 9,000 pesos, Motorola's Moto E4 Plus is still one of those few devices that come with a 5,000 mAh battery. And now that it's up for a refresh, it's a good idea to see how well this phone has aged. This is Geek Republic, and this is my long-term review of the Motorola Moto E4 Plus. Released back in July of 2017, the Moto E4 Plus is a solid mid-range phone. It has a MediaTek quad-core processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, a 5.5-inch HD display, a 13-megapixel rear camera, a 5-megapixel selfie camera, a fingerprint scanner, and of course its highlighting feature, its big 5,000 mAh battery. In terms of looks, Motorola designed this phone to have a somewhat premium feel. Although this device still has some hefty bezels compared to some phones released in the latter part of 2017, the E4 Plus has managed to keep the design, in my opinion, clean and simple. The back cover is made from metal and is removable, and unlike most phones these days, the E4 Plus doesn't use those hybrid SIM tray cards and instead uses old-school SIM slots that can be accessed after the back cover has been removed. There's also a 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom if you're still using wired headsets. There are 2 buttons at the side of the phone, a volume rocker and a textured power/sleep button. The display only has HD resolution, but it isn't really that bad, especially when you consider this phone's price. Charging is done with a micro USB port though, and given the large capacity of its battery means that charging times won't be as fast even when using a fast charger, which surprisingly isn't included in the box. Performance on the Moto E4 Plus is delivered by a MediaTek MT6735 chipset with a quad-core processor clocked at 1.2 GHz and paired with 3 GB of RAM. This combination brings forth enough juice for basic functions and activities like browsing social media, video streaming, and some casual gaming. If you're into more graphics-heavy apps and games, this phone might not be the one for you. The Moto E4 Plus runs on an almost stock version of Android 7, and in theory should run buttery smooth on the device. However, in this case, the phone's hardware failed to keep up with the streamlined operating system. There were times when I experienced sudden app crashes, and when trying to multitask, I often find the phone struggling to redraw apps from the background. Another issue worth mentioning is the fingerprint scanner. The Moto E4 Plus sports a front-mounted optical fingerprint scanner, which in my experience worked well during the first few weeks of use but had difficulty keeping up as time went by and has become less reliable in properly scanning my fingerprint. I've seen it unlock the phone and mistakenly when leftover finger grease leaves a fingerprint over the scanner. Another serious compromise with the Moto E4 would be the camera. The 30-megapixel sensor at the back of the device is just bad. Images are often washed out, lack focus, and you'll be hard-pressed to get decent pictures on the fly. But if there's one thing that the Moto E4 Plus does well, it's of course the battery. On a normal day, you can expect the device to last at least 3 days on a single charge with moderate to even slightly heavy use. On the downside, Motorola wasn't generous enough to include a fast charger out of the box, so you'll likely spend 3 to 4 hours to charge the device from 0 to 100%. With a not-so-competent chip and camera, there's only one specific niche of people that the Motorola E4 Plus will appeal to: battery peepers. If you're a person who puts a premium on battery life more than anything else, there's not a lot of phones that can beat the E4 Plus. If you using a phone means checking emails, making calls, casual gaming, and checking social media, this phone could possibly pass as your main phone. However, if you're looking for a great phone where you can play intensive games or something that you can use to take lots of photos, this might not be the best for you. So there you have it. If you like what you've seen on this video, I would really appreciate if you hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to my channel for more. For any feedback or suggestions, you can also drop them in the comment section below. See you in the next vid, guys!